right. What? What is going on, everybody? We are here and live. The College Football National Championship is about an hour away from kickoff. And we are set.
Yes,
And
we are. We also have a few well, so far we got one guest. His name is Alex. Let's let him in. What's up, Alex?
What's up, Alex?
I don't have to buy you back.
Oh.
I just can't come here.
So what are your thoughts on? Oh, go ahead.
Yes. So let's go ahead and get our initial thoughts about the game, the playoffs, everything before we get started.
Yes. Mike, you can go first.
Wow. First of all, what two great stories we have. Georgia looking to become the first repeat national champions in the college football playoff era and the first in a decade. And then TCU, obviously, with their Cinderella story that they have so far going on, they're looking to finish it off with raising the national championship trophy tonight. What an unbelievable season we've had. What a playoffs we've had. Can't wait for a great game tonight.
Yeah, like you said, two good stories. One trying to go back to back national championship, and then the other one trying to make a ultimate underdog story. Max Duggan almost winning the Heisman. Same with Stetson Bennett. Max Duggan just tearing his body up during that back Big 12 championship game, if you remember that. Both are great stories. Yeah, I think. Huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, what you're saying?
No, I just said he showed some. Yes, we've shown bits and pieces of what he could do. Yes, he's shown before that game he's shown how great of a quarterback he is. But truly in that game, even though they lost, that he's shown that he's got some guts. This kid is not fooling around. He's gonna be playing like that tonight. I guarantee it.
Alex, what are your thoughts on the initial thoughts on the?
Put on my camera. Yeah, I think I was going to say she probably did it for minutes because she could. So do I need to turn on my camera?
I don't care. I really don't care. Can you just give your initial thoughts?
Yeah. So great stories by both teams, and it's going to come down to who has the better offense because the key player that I think is Brock Powers. He's a really really great tight end. I love the way he plays. And Kenny McIntosh, I think that's his name. He's going to have a key game in here today. He's going to be a real threat against TCU. Max Duggan and Kevin Johnson will both have great games, and it should be a fun one to watch. I think.
Yeah, it will be a fun one to watch. Yeah.
So next up is breaking down the game, breaking down the teams. So what a terrific game we have here between Georgia and TCU. Georgia, obviously, known for their defense, known for stifling defense, quick tackling. They are on you just like that after you catch the ball. You don't even have a chance to make moves on some of these guys. Jalen Carter, obviously, a beast in the middle. And then we have the TCU offense, the gutsy Max Duggan, Quentin Johnston, a beast wide receiver. It's going to be an interesting matchup there. And then we also have the TC defense. They made some big plays last week. and that's what I've seen. My initial thoughts on these games, or on these teams. Yeah,
Yeah, I know Max Duggan. I know they both have stout rosters, but Georgia I think has a very much better of a roster, more talent than TCU. I think their offense is a lot better. Their defense is especially a lot better. They Georgia knows how to come, or TCU knows how to come back and win the game. But I don't think if they let Georgia get ahead by so much, I don't think TCU can come back, even if they play the best they can. I don't think there's a way TCU can come back if they let Georgia have the lead in the halftime by big margin. If you
you
get
can't. TCU cannot have. They cannot let Georgia get momentum early. They have to stay with it. No, even if they don't score early on, they cannot get Georgia up 14 points, 21 points, 20, 17, 21 points early on, where they're going to lose. This team is known for having close games or starting out great. There's been a couple instances where they've started out really, really good, and that we have obviously have seen some bad stuff the first half where they've had a bad not so great first half. And to me, they're gonna have to have those instances where they go up early on in the first half, like they did last week, like they did in Texas or in Iowa State. That's to me where an early part of the game, that's the key for TCU.
Yeah, I agree. I think that TCU absolutely cannot let Georgia have the lead in halftime and have momentum in the third quarter. That's going to be deadly for TCU if that happens. I agree.
One thing on that, the at TCU, whoever wins the toss is going to defer. That's going to be important though, because if Georgia wins the toss, they're going to defer, and they have the ball and they score in that first, and they score and take. Let's say it's a close game going into like the last few minutes of the first half. They're going to need to score there, and then they could score again. That's a 14-point swing, and TCU cannot allow that to happen tonight. Alex,
Yeah.
let's go and get your thoughts on this.
He's muted. I
All
think
right.
he muted. Oh, never mind.
So the thing is, TCU's defense has not been so great against top 25 opponents. I've calculated it. They've allowed 30 points per game against top 25 teams. They did not play good defense against Michigan until like the end. I think that it comes down to who is the better offense and which quarterback will prevail as which team has the most heart to win it. And I believe that Duggan and Bennett, they're both great quarterbacks. They can both use their legs. They both can sling the ball. It's going to be an amazing battle between these two QBs.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because Georgia's offense is not as good as they're good. They got some good pieces, but they're not a dominating offense. It's like let's first say Alabama. Like when they've had success, they're a really good offense. They score 50, 60 points a game. Georgia 30, 40, I think. I don't know how many points, like what's the highest total Georgia's had, Allen, but they're not consistently. When Alabama's had success, they've consistently put up 50, 40, 50 points a game, and you could guarantee that's what they're going to put up.
Right.
Yes, you could. Yes, let me look at their point total actually. And I think and TCU has that same. TCU and Georgia's offense are similar. TCU's offense is going to be key tonight.
Right, I agree. So so we're gonna move on to the keys to success. What I think TCU needs to have is I think TCU needs to have the lead at halftime. I know they're not comfortable with that, or I know they're not used to that because they're always trailing. They're always losing at halftime, but they need momentum. If they don't have momentum going into the third quarter, I don't think there is a way. And they have to keep that momentum. If they lose it, they're done, especially if it's a close game.
My keys to success are for TCU. Their first and foremost is to get a couple of turnovers, takeaways, get at least 2 or 3 takeaways, and then you can, which means you get extra possessions for your offense. And then if your offense is clicking tonight,
What?
that could put up 14, like possibly main 14, 20, 14 or 21 big points. That's what they're going to need. And 2 or 3 picks, not necessarily pick sixes like they had against Michigan, but picks. They're going to need to have that going on tonight. As well as on offense, they're going to need that running game to go. No matter if it's Kendra Miller or DeMarcado, they're going to have that running game going. Keep that Georgia defensive line on. They need to keep that on. They need to keep that team honest, because if they can't run the ball, then the Georgia's going to have to just play back and pass coverage.
Right.
That's what TCU's known for. So they're going to have to be able to run the ball. And then Quinn Johnson is going to have a big game for them. And Max Duggan's going to have to do the same. For Georgia, just have success on defense. Stop the run. Just do what they're normally doing. And offense, Stetson Bennett, to me, are going to need to have those big plays. If they do get the ball to start the second half, what I would do for Georgia is try to get the ball last and score. Then score the first drive of the third quarter. That's big for Georgia tonight.
Right. I absolutely agree with that. I just want to mention one thing before we go any further in the conversation. We do have more guests than just Alex. Some won't be able to make it till the halftime show, but we should have all of our guests on at the halftime show. There's Alex plus I think 2 more, so I just want to mention that before we keep going. But yeah, I agree with your keys to success, Micah. Alex, what were you saying?
All right, so I really do like Georgia here. I like both teams. I don't know. I think both teams are going to do really well, but
All right. So Michael, you ready to move on to the you ready to move on, Micah, to the final five season?
I added in the prop bets to Alex, the message I sent Alex. Let's go ahead and do prop bets now.
Your what?
The prop bets.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Over
All right, so we're gonna do the over unders. Over unders we have a few things we want to guess over under on. So the first over under is Stetson Bennett passing touchdowns over under 2.5 touchdowns. Micah, over under. What do you think, Micah?
It depends, because he could run the ball. There's times where he can run the ball, and then there's also times where they be able to score. They may try to sneak him in, so that would be a rushing touchdown, and then their run game as well. I'm gonna go over, just simply because I think TC's gonna be able to force some big plays on defense, but I also think Georgia's gonna be able to beat them on some plays, which would give them the over.
I agree. I think Stetson Bennett will have more chances to throw touchdowns than he usually does in games. I think he'll easily beat two touchdowns in a heartbeat. Like I don't think he'll score 2 touchdowns in the first half. Being honest, I think he will throw a lot of touchdowns. I think that over under is too low. I'm going over. Alex, what do you think?
I definitely agree. I think that he's going to go way over 2.5. Whether it be he doubled that, I think he could possibly get 5 or 4. I don't know. I think he's going to play great. He really is the heart of the offense here in Georgia. He's a great leader. I think that he can easily get the amount of opportunities and take over the game and get over easily 2.5.
To me, what can hold Georgia's offense back is there, Alan, the only main injury on offense is Darnell Washington, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. So what I've been thinking is on this one, the only thing that can really hold back Georgia's offense is that Darnell Washington cannot play. If he can't play, he's a tight end. So the defense is going to be able to cover Brock Bowers and just Brock Bowers only. They're going to be able to double team him. So and then they can't. They would have to spread out to Darnell Washington if he does play, which would spread out the defense. So that could hold him back, but because I'm going to still say over in that, but I may change it to under if Darnell Washington does not play.
Right. All right. Next one. Or hold up. Alex, did you have something to say or no?
No.
All right. Next one is Max Duggan passing yards over under 233.5. Woo! Michael, what do you think?
I'm going to hear what Alex has to say on this one.
Man, I don't know. It depends though. He's really interesting about this one. I'm not sure. He could have it, but like he could also he has a bunch of passing yards and then he has like 200. But personally, I say over because the national championship got to give your Heisman candidate opportunities to score. I definitely think he will get over this, but I don't know how much by. Could be, I'd say around like 300. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely going over.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be more of a. I think it's going to be more of a high scoring game. And if there's going to be high scoring, then TCU is going to be passing the ball a good bit. So I'm going to say over. I'm going to stick around that 300 mark. I don't know how much over he's going to get, 233.5. But yes, that's a big number. And if they do that, if he could do this, then I would say, okay, maybe TCU has a shot.
Right. I think 233 is a way too high of a number. I'm going under because I think they're going heavy on rushing this game. I don't think he's going to be passing that much. I think he can probably get about 200 max. I don't see a way where he gets 233 or over 233. I really think they're going to be hovering on the run game, even though it might not work. I don't know, but I don't think they're doing the pass. I don't think they're doing that much of passing. Brock Bowers receiving yards over under 64.5.
Let's start this one.
Michael, what do you think about that? What are your thoughts?
Alan, go ahead and start this one.
Huh?
Start this one.
Start what?
You start for this one.
What?
You start. You go first.
Oh. Okay, I couldn't hear you. I think receiving yards only 64 over easily. I think he's going to be used a lot. I think he will be used a lot. I think that Adonai Mitchell will be used a lot. But he will be over 64.5. I'm definitely going over. He's not going to be the main target, but he'll easily be over 64.
Yeah. Alex.
So Brock Bowers, I think that he will have way over 64.5. As I think that he will take over this game. I think he will be the key factor for the Georgia offense, and he will be player of the game for Georgia. I think they're going to use him, and I think they should use him a
Oh, for
lot.
sure.
They should,
Good.
whether it be run game, pass game. I don't know. I just think I'm going way over.
Yeah, I agree. Micah?
Brock Bowers is just Brock Bowers. He's a monster. You're going to have to use him. If you don't use him, then TCU may start going away from him and start covering A.D. Mitchell and all these other wide receivers, Slad McConkey. And so you're going to have to use him because your offense is already thin because Darnell Washington is going to be out. I don't know if he is out or not. But if Darnell Washington is out, you're going to have to use Brock Bowers, in my opinion.
All right.
So yes, I'm going to take over on this one.
Right. All right. Quentin Johnston, receiving yards over under 87. Alex, what you think?
I'm going to go under. I think Georgia's going to really focus on Quentin Johnson. He's a really good wide receiver, but I think they'll lock him down this game. They'll keep him locked up. I think he'll have under 87. He might get close to it, but I don't think he could surpass that. So yeah, I'm just going to go under for that one.
Michael, what you think?
Yeah, Alex, you make a really good point that they may lock him down and they may have to go somewhere else like Tay Barber or someone else. I think he's going to get I think it's going to be close. He may reach it. I think it would be key for him to get there. I'm going to take the under to be safe. But I think it's going to be really close.
Right, I agree. I'm going under on this one too. 87 is just way too high of a number because they're going to be locking them down. And I don't think any TCU wide receiver or tight end is going to get over 50. I seriously don't. Yeah, that's how much I think that defense is going to work. Nobody gets over 50.
That's a bold take, Alan.
Nobody gets over 50.
That's a bold take.
So Auntie Amanda asks, what does over under mean? It's pretty much a betting thing. It's pretty much so, like, for example, let's go to the one we were just on. Where is it? Quentin Johnson. So receiving yards. So pretty much that means over under for his receiving yards. That means, do we think he'll catch over 87 yards or under 87 yards? Like, here, let's get one that makes a little more sense. Like the Stats Bennett one for the touchdown, 2.5 touchdown. Do you think over? Do you think he's going to score more than 2 touchdowns or under scores less? Yeah. So hopefully that helps you. So Kenny McIntosh, rushing yards over under is 65.5. Alex, what do you think?
Well, it's kind of hard. This one's depends on how much Georgia really goes with the run game. I think that they should go with the pass game. But Kenny McIntosh is really good. He was a key factor in the Ohio State defeat. But I'm going to go under. I'm going to go under. I don't think that Georgia will go with the pass game. They'll run some, but I don't think Kenny McIntosh will have 70. He's a good player, but I don't think he could get that. He'll get that much because Georgia has a lot of weapons on the run game that they could use other than him. As
All right.
don't limit predict that he's not even going to be the rushing leader. I think it'll be Dejon Edwards.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Mike, what do you think about this over-under?
You think they should pass? I'm having a hard time with that, just simply because on how they played last week and how they played this year. That defense, that pass defense, is really good. I would say Georgia would have to run in this game. If they pass it way too much, the TCU's defense could play really well today. So I'm going to go with over. I think they're going to run it a little bit more because they're going to try to keep the they're going to try to force TCU to stop them on the run, then try to pass and do what they did last week. So
I think Georgia's going to run the classic Georgia offense. I think they're going to run 80% and throw 20%. So I'm definitely going to go to over on this one. But I still think Bennett will get over the 2.5 touchdowns. So that's all the over-unders.
no, there's two more.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't make a graphic for these two. My bad.
You're good.
So the first over-under that we're missing is the over-under Georgia or TCU takeaways 2.5. Michael, what do you think?
They played that. They had a couple big takeaways, and I'm talking like takeaways. I think does takeaways mean turnover on downs? Is that a takeaway? Are we considering that a takeaway?
Turnover on downs? Sure, yeah. We'll count it.
Because I would say over. This team can do force turnovers really well. This team is really good at forcing turnovers. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna say they're gonna have at least 3 today. And what my keys were was the TCU turnover, and that's why I'm over.
Alex?
I'm gonna go under. Georgia's offense could either go aggressive or passive, and
I'll be right back. I have to go do something.
if they go passive, like you said, then I think that they could be careful with the ball. They don't turn over the ball that much.
Right, I agree. I think TCU will easily go over. I agree with Micah's statement of they're going to go over. I think Bennett's going to try to go for a throw on something and get a pick, and that's going to get him over the 2.5 over under. All right, so we got the UGA takeaways. Over under is 1.5. Alex, what do you think?
Definitely over. That's something that Georgia's really good at. I don't know if they had any turnovers against Ohio State, but I think this game that they could surpass 1.5 turnovers. They're pretty good. I think they can create some turnovers as the defense is known for making key plays, as Georgia usually is. They're probably going to find some way to create a turnover, whether it be from the fumbles or the interceptions. That's what I'm going with. Over.
Yeah, I agree. Over easily. That number is too low for me to go under. I think they'll get some takeaways. I easily over because Georgia's defense is too good to not get any takeaways. So, Michael, what do you think?
Yeah, 1.5 is not that great, to be honest. I would say they're gonna have a couple of turnovers, but I don't know. I just have this feel. I just have this weird feeling TC's gonna play out of their mind today. I'm not saying that because I'm a TC fan. I just have this weird feeling that TC is going to do something we're not expecting tonight. I'm going to say over just because it's a safe bet to do is over. So I don't know, but I think TC is going to do something that we're not expecting tonight.
All right. Now, let's move over to the final thoughts of the season.
So for this, I wanted to do a couple things. I know I didn't say this, but I wanted to do a couple things. I want to do a couple of tops. So top games, top moments in the season, top 3. Just a little top 3 moments. And then your final thoughts as well. So top 3 moments, top 3 games, top 3 whatever. So top 3 moments of the season, and then top 3 games of the season.
Okay, we get it. What's your top 3 moments?
My top 3 moments. As a Bama fan, I hate to say this, but not from LSU and Tennessee, but just the upsets in general. The upsets are as a fan of not as a college football fan, it's fun to see. I'm gonna go upsets number 3. The big upsets like Tennessee over Alabama, like LSU over Alabama, even though they hurt at that time. That's definitely my third. My second, this TCU team, just incredible. They've had an incredible season, not something we've expected, and it's just like I said, this season is an unexpected season from TCU, a good unexpected, and I think we're gonna see that again tonight. And then my number 1. The playoffs. Those were just an unbelievable playoff. You had just 2 great games. It was not, and we were coming in thinking Georgia and Michigan were going to just getting a blowout win. Georgia and Michigan are going to win handily, and move on to the national championship. That's not what happened. That's clearly not what happened. And then top 3 games, playoffs included. I'm gonna go number 3, Baylor TCU. What a game! You had TCU about to lose, 5 or 6 seconds left, having to run on to the field and kick a game-winning field goal. That's why they're here. That's part of the reason why they're here is because of that game, surviving that game. Number 2, I'm going to go Alabama, Tennessee. Even though Alabama lost, that was an incredible game. You had back and forth, Jalen Hite going off, Bryce Young going off, Hendon Hooker going off. It was just an offensive. I'm trying to find my words here. Just wow. What 2 teams that was? Both elite teams that could have had a chance at the playoffs. And then number 1, Georgia, Ohio State. What a game that was. Ohio State, they surprised me in that game. I thought Georgia was easily going to handle Ohio State, But Ohio State played with some guts. I did gain a little bit of respect for Ohio State after that. Not much. I still hate them, but I think I gained a little bit of respect. And my final thoughts: what a season this has been. This is going to be a great game, and I can't wait.
All right. My top three moments were number three, that kick the end the Tennessee Alabama game to give Tennessee the win. That's number three. Number two, the Ohio State too far to the left kick in the playoff. That play was epic. And when he kicked the ball, the clock turned midnight. That was also epic, I think. And my number one was the what was it? My number one was the kick six in the Georgia LSU SEC championship game. That's my number one moment. My top three games: Appalachian State versus who did they upset again? Was it Notre Dame or something? I think it was Notre Dame, wasn't it?
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. Yeah, that game was epic. Number two was the Alabama Tennessee. That's number two. Number one was the what was that one game that TCU struggled? They had to score a field goal to win the game in the regular
Baylor.
season. Baylor.
Baylor.
TCU Baylor was number one. And my final thoughts of the season. The season was really good. Bunch of close games, bunch of upsets, bunch of blowouts, good playoff, good conference championship games. And yeah. All right, so now let's move on to predictions.
No, hey Alex.
Oh, Alex, yeah. Alex, what do you think?
So my top three moments were Vanderbilt finally ending their 26-game streak of losing in the SEC. And number two is Tulane's incredible turnaround. They were 2-10 the previous year, and this year they were 14th in the AP poll, 12-2, and won the Cotton Bowl against USC. And number one, of course, TCU's incredible run to the national championship. My top three games are Utah versus USC, Pac-12 Bowl. That was an entertaining game. Then Alabama versus Tennessee at number two, and of course, Ohio State versus Georgia at number one. As this was a great season for college football, and I can't wait for the future.
One quick thing. What before we go, let's what was an honorable mention in those two? Like honorable mention moment and then honorable mention game.
Okay, so my honorable mention moment was the Texas Alabama game. That was just the game itself was a moment. My honorable mention game was the Clemson South Carolina game. I think that's an underrated game.
So my honorable mentions for the game is probably, I would have to say, probably the TCU versus Michigan game or the TCU versus Baylor. I'm gonna say TCU versus Baylor. And moments, I would say Caleb Williams. He was great to watch this year, as he is definitely probably going to be the number one pick in the 2024 draft. Not this year's draft, but next year's draft.
Yep. He's going to be probably by far the number one pick, Alex. My honorable mention. Game. I would probably go with. I will go with the TCU Michigan game. I'm just trying to think. I could have a couple of the Appalachian State games at the beginning of the season. What a game though! What a game! What a playoff we've had. My honorable mention moment to me was the Stetson Bennett story. It's definitely something that no one would have expected. Uh, Walk on coming on to potentially win two national championships back to back, and someone who we thought back in 2020 was his small, measly little old QB who can't win a single big game. But that's clearly not what Stetson Bennett was, and yeah.
It's a 2v2 game. Volleyball.
All right. Well, let's go to the predictions.
So I have a question for you guys. So this has been debated a lot, but do you guys think Stetson Bennett will be drafted?
Yes, absolutely. I think he would be. I think a team that really needs a quarterback, like the Falcons.
If he does end up getting drafted, I'd say 7th round, but I think he's going to be undrafted free agent, going to go to a team. I just don't think teams are really interested. But
I would say probably yes. I think some teams are going to look at him later on in the draft. Let's say a team that could look for a starting QB next year, maybe like a Packer team or I don't know. I would say yeah, though. I think he could go to a team at some point. I don't know where, but we'll see what his intentions are after this game.
All right, let's move on to the predictions. So Michael, I'm going to start with your first. Who do you think wins this game, and what's the score?
I think this is going to be an incredible game. Both teams going to be playing really well. I have this feeling that TCU is going to do something that we're not expecting, but I'm going to go ahead and say Georgia wins barely 38-35. I don't know. I think Georgia just has a little too much. I think that offense is going to get the ball with about a minute or so left, go down the field, kick the last second field goal to win the game.
All right, Alex, what's your prediction?
So I've been going back and forth, and I've been thinking about it. And after doing some real hard thinking, I'm going to say Georgia. Now I was going with Tennessee, but I think it's going to be Georgia. They're way too talented, and on both sides of the ball. And I think the final score will be TCU 55, Georgia 58, as both will get in the 50s. As this will be a high scoring game, as I think this will be definitely one of the greatest national championships of all time, as there is going to be a lot of history made in today's game.
All right.
Just like we're about 15 minutes or so away from kickoff. So,
all right. Now I think this game is going to be a very low scoring game. I am the opposite of these two. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. Georgia's style of slow, methodical, low scoring game. I think Georgia will win 28-16. I don't think they'll let TCU score much. I think UGA will score about as they usually do in the 30s, late 20s, early 30s range. And I think Georgia's defense will hold TCU down to less than 20. I don't think TCU's offense can handle Georgia's defense. I think Georgia will just bring the ball up and down TCU's throat. And this will be a big margin game. This won't be a 3-point game like these other two are saying, or Mike is saying, or a 5-point game like Alex is saying. So that's what I think what's going to happen. Yeah. So those are our predictions. We really ain't got nothing else planned. So last
let's go ahead and get our final thoughts on the game. And then we'll
yeah.
stream.
Final thoughts. Alex, go first. Alex, if you can go first.
All right, so I'm gonna say that there will be history made. I think that there'll be high level offense as total offensive yards. Both teams will go to 500 in total.
Wow.
Yeah, this is
Oh boy.
feeling this is going to be a really high scoring game, and my team MVPs are on TCU. I think Max Duggan, he'll have 300 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and for Georgia, I think it's going to be Brock Powers. He's going to have around 160 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns.
Wow. Yeah. This is gonna be an incredible game. I can't wait to see this game. I'm like buzzing right now. I don't know if it's because I had a monster in a kickstart, but my nerves. I'm not a Georgia or TCU fan, and my nerves are like high. I think this is gonna be a fantastic game. I can't wait. I'm just glad I could just relax in this game. So unlike this man right here, to the left of me, or to the right, no, wait, to the right, yeah, right of me. So, he's gonna be nervous in this game, early on at least. So hopefully, we'll see some history. We're gonna see some history tonight either way. I don't really care who wins, but yeah, it's gonna be a great game. I can't wait.
All right, I think y'all are overhyping this game. This is going to be a blowout. Maybe not in the first half, but in the second half, absolutely.
Alex, unmute your mic for a second.
I don't think TCU's offense can handle Georgia's defense.
Alan, show your shirt. I just want to show your shirt.
Wow.
Alex, have you seen him being biased in this stream?
I'm not sure. A little bit. Got that.
I seriously do not think, from an unbiased standpoint, TCU's offense cannot handle Georgia's defense.
Look, I'm a Missouri fan, so I wouldn't know anything about success. So maybe it's just me.
I'm just picking on you, Alan.
I do not think I think Max Duggan will have to run for his life in the first half. I think he'll be tired in the third quarter and will be bummed out, and Georgia will run up that score.
All right. I think that's going to do it. Any final thoughts?
Final words, Alex?
No.
And we're going to see for halftime, right?
Yeah, I'll be back at halftime.
All right.
All right. Thank you for having me on this pregame show.
Yes.
Yeah, and thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. All right, that's going to do it for now. We're getting ready to go live in just a minute for the game. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. It's gonna be a great game. I can't wait. Alan is he's fully confident that Kirby Smart and this Georgia team is gonna raise back-to-back national championship trophies. I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be a great game. I can't wait. It's gonna be a fun stream coming up. Alex and the boys are gonna be coming in for the halftime show, so that's gonna be fun. We can't wait for that as well. It's going to be a great game. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to our post notifications. If you'd like to contact us, you can contact us by email at ncaaorbit@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram at ncaaorbit. Follow us on there as well. And then obviously subscribe here. Can't wait. We're about 10 minutes away. We'll see you then. Peace.